Hi everybody, it's me, our Pokédex. We all know that there are a million of Filipino Hetalia fans out there waiting for an official character in the series. The Republic of the Philippines is one of the most requested characters in Hetalia. Don't believe me? Ask HRE himself. But for some reason, the character is not there. The question is, why? Why is the Philippines not in Hetalia, and how the HRE lost his memory? Disclaimer, I know that the main reason is that because the character is not yet implemented. But for now, I want you to see through a theorist's mind. And no, don't you dare post in the comment box about the Mary Sue situation. I just want to think here and have fun. Before we go to the theory, we have to look at the history. The whole AXP is mostly revolved around World War II. Therefore, we focus on World War II of the Philippine history. World War II was bad for the Philippines. There was the so-called death march, torture, hunger, and killing. A lot of killing. It was a bad time for the Philippines, and yet, we survived it. Now, let us take a look at the activities that the Japanese gave the Philippines. First activity, the Death March. Ask an everyday Filipino about World War II. The first thing they will think about is the Death March. Why? Well, because this was the most brutal thing the Japanese has ever done to the Filipinos. There was an estimate amount of 18,000 Filipinos dead after Death March. No Filipino was safe when it comes to death. Going back to Hetalia, we all know that the humans are aware of the personification of countries, shown to us many a times, like that time when the kids told Japan to think, or that time where America visited Japan, and a lot of times the character even said that their boss calls them or ordered them to do something. So, in conclusion, it means that the Philippines is able to talk to her people, and it also means that the people are aware of her case. Logically, if I am correct, the people would have thought that if nations disappeared, it means that the people will disappear as well. In World War II, no one was safe at all. They were hunted down. They will hide, but eventually will get caught. Now comes in my first theory. The Philippines was hiding. Yes, you heard me. She was hiding from Japan. Like I said, the people are aware that there are personifications of their country. They are aware that if they died, they will die too. So they will do at all costs to protect the personification. The question is, where is she hiding? Taking a look back once again, there are things that didn't go to your history books, and one of those is the story of Yamashita's treasure. It is said that there are 3 treasures that was placed in the Philippines. 2 was not yet found, but was one of them. It was a huge golden Buddha surrounded by gold ingots that was worth 24,000 pesos. Combine it with the golden Buddha, and it is estimated by a whopping $120,000. Imagine all the merch you could have bought with that money. Now, let me explain how this has to do with this. First of all, since no one knew where the treasure is, it is merely impossible for Filipinos to tell which is which. The map made by Yamashita was a mystery itself. No one can crack the code. Only the Japanese can have access to the treasure. So, why did I thought of it? Well, we all know that there are personification of regions. Maybe the regions of the Philippines overheard the talk of the Death March and told it to the Philippines. They wanted to protect Piri and made a decision to hide her. Then, one day, 3 regions saw where they hid the 3 treasures of Yamashita. They went to Piri, told her the case, and hid her near the treasure. Why didn't the Japanese see her in place? They know that if they repeatedly came back from all of the treasure spots, they would have claimed suspicion. Aren't I right?
But Pokédex, Piri would have wanted to fight with her people. She would have never left them unarmed.
Shh. Calm down, child. I will get to that. It also came to my mind that she would have had the Pinoy spirit and wanted to fight with them. I was stuck with this question for such a long time until I remembered HRE's case. HRE's case was such a tough one since there were only limited resources and Himaruya loves it when the fandom kill each other when it comes to ships. It is said that HRE was resurrected because of this particular sentence. Quote, Germany used to be several countries but married to each other, called the Holy Roman Empire, end quote. Or, quote, unlike other nations, when Germany was born, he was a bit older because he had an existing body, end quote. Everyone thought he was resurrected from the dead, but don't you ever thought of a condition? A condition where people are not aware of what is happening in their surroundings. A condition where you are not dreaming yet sleeping. You guessed it. A comatose. Wondering why he was stated dying? Well, remember, Holy Roman Empire's timeline is before technology. If you are in a coma, you might be stated in a severe condition or dead. They know that HRE was dead, yet his body wasn't put out. Why? The answer is Prussia. Because of Prussia. Prussia hoped, prayed, and did all he can to keep HRE alive. When they finally got a response from him, the Germanic states agreed to be one, to restart, to rebuild an empire. What does this have to do with Piri? Well, let's see here. She was hiding, but she doesn't want to hide. And yet she is. No, she is not afraid. No, she did not give up. She is in a coma. Her people hid her from the Japanese army because she was in a severe condition. How do I prove this? Well, remember, not all facts are in the history books. And one of those was that Manila, also known as the capital city of the Philippines, is the second most devastated places in World War II. She is dead, mentally, but not physically. Now remember Prussia? He plays a very important role. Sometime in Philippine history, Manuel L. Quezon opened the Philippines with open arms to the escapees in the era of Hitler. Prussia himself was part of the escapees. Prussia must have wanted to give something back for all of the things that the Filipinos did for his people. And that is, quote unquote, resurrection of the Philippines.
But Pokédex, how come she remembers?
Wait. Remember, people learn from mistakes. His mistake on HRE was not placed on the Philippines. And this is a bit on the future now, so he had more tech on his side. So yeah, to summarize all of it, the Philippines is in a coma, Germany was in a coma, but thanks to Super Prussia, he saved the timeline? Oh yeah, there was this thing on Japan and Piri, but that'll be in the next video. Thanks for watching!